is that? Okay, let's try that again. Hey everyone, it's Advija Coastal Magnolia. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. Thank you so much. I've been really curious lately about, well, big surprise, experimenting. But I really love making resin wine glasses, and I like creating all different kinds of patterns, and normally you will see a pattern across the whole circumference of the wine glass. I've really been curious about trying to make a design just on one side of the glass with resin. The challenge is that resin wants to run, and it wants to self-level when it's on the tumbler turner because it runs like this. So I've been experimenting with some UV resin to create kind of a dam on the glass. And this is my first experiment. Follow along on the video and see how I did it, and see how I made this. I have Let's Resin right here. Got my lamp plugged in. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I really gonna do one at a time, and I kind of have an idea where I don't want to go all the way to the top. All right, come on, babe. Come on. All right, let's go ahead and cure that because it's already running. It's hard to see this process because of the UV light, but basically all I'm doing is using the UV resin to create a line down the glass at a diagonal angle. And I don't have a very steady hand, so I've got to figure out how to make my lines a little straighter. But as I add, and I'm having to do this in sections because the resin is going to want to run, so I have to work really fast and do little bitty sections of the UV resin, and then turning my light on to cure that particular section. And this is a 60-second light, so I'm trying to leave the light on for the full 60 seconds on each section. And so that's why you can't really see what I'm doing, but that's what I'm doing. And then I'm doing one final cure, just turning the glass all the way around with the light on, just to make sure I get every little bitty section and it's fully cured. And then I did the same thing with the second glass, just trying to sort of match the pattern of the first glass and trying to keep my hand as steady as possible, which is not very easy for me. I already had KSRESIN liquidy split mixed up in my cup, and I've dyed it turquoise with the KSRESIN liquid resin dye. I have a great discount code in the description if you want to get a discount. I also have a link to my Amazon, well, it's an Amazon affiliate link for the silicone cups that I use, and it really helps to support my small channel when you use my affiliate links. I appreciate it very much. So all I'm doing here is just applying a really thin layer of this resin as a base layer on the glass. And I am putting on a thicker layer of the resin than I normally would, and I'm really struggling right now because what happened, I mixed up my resin and let it sit in my cup for about 10 minutes, which was a big mistake with the liquidy split. It sets so fast, it got really thick. So I'm having a hard time really spreading it like I want to. Sorry about the camera, it keeps moving because I've got I'm resting my finger on it, or the glasses on it. Okay, I did get a little bit of drip on that glass, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let this turn just a little bit, even position this one where I want it. I think I'm going to do this side, or maybe this side. All right. I'm going to have to work really fast because I don't want this other one to drip, and I have a feeling it is going to drip. Maybe if I turn it this way. I'm gonna make the top a little bit sort of, you know, just loosey-goosey. Looser than I would normally do, like uneven. Let's turn. This one's turning out good. It dripped a little bit, so I can clean that up in just a minute. But I want to get this one turning, and I want to get my heat gun on it so that I can pop the bubbles. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and put some alcohol ink in there. This is definitely getting thick. Low heat and high air on the heat gun. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up these drips. Let's get a new paper towel. I just got a little bit of alcohol on this paper towel. Let's stop this real quick. I just want to clean this edge up. Yeah, I am glad that I put the UV resin on. I guess it doesn't really matter which way it turns, honestly. Really not any on here. All right, we're going to take silver along this edge. Oh, and I got some on the glass. That's okay. I can get that off. Oh, geez. Let's just keep it moving. We're just drawing on it. Y'all, I really don't like doing voiceovers, honestly, but I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just, when I'm working, I forget to talk. I can clean that up. Not a worry. But yeah, I forget to talk. I get so focused on what I'm doing that I forget that I'm supposed to be telling you guys what I'm doing. So, sorry. I'm really kind of excited about the possibility that this will have. The drawing on of the ink with the needle nose dropper. I'm excited about experimenting with just drawing on different designs. Now, spraying on the alcohol was just an idea that I had to see if that would help the ink run, but I don't really think that it helped all that much. And that's just because this is fast set resin, so it really didn't have enough flow for the ink to really go anywhere. And that's okay. Don't know if this is going to work. Remember, this is an experiment, so I really was not sure if this entire project was going to work. So applying the heat with my heat gun, I was a little bit nervous, but it really, I mean, I'm really happy with that pattern. That is a really, really cool pattern. And I think even if I had just left the ink to kind of go on its own, it would have been fine. But I really like the little tendrils that the ink is making with the heat gun, or the heat gun is making on the ink. Does that make sense? And of course, every time I turn my turner arms off, I have to remember that it turns in different directions. So that in itself is a little bit frustrating, because I like it to turn this way, not that way, the other way. But this was fun. Now you see right here where you can see the imprint that the needle nose dropper has on the glass. I really like that. I think that I'm going to be experimenting with this some more. And I really think the only reason the resin is not running all off the glass is because the resin is already thick. Remember, I left it in my cup for a couple of minutes, so it had already started thickening up before I even put it on the glass. And even pushing it with the heat gun, it's not really dripping the way that I thought it would drip.
I can clean that up. Let's clean that up right now.
All right, cleaning that up right now. A little bit of alcohol on a paper towel, and I'm cleaning that resin up. And I'm going to get this later. The alcohol that's dripped directly on the glass, that's not on resin, I'm going to clean that up later. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just worried about cleaning up. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to get that later, so don't worry about that. All right. Okay. I'm gonna let this turn and come back and see what we got in a little bit. These are still a little tacky, but I can't stand it. I need to see. They're not fully cured, and they're definitely not dry to the touch, but they're dry enough, and I can go ahead and take these off the turner. I don't want to touch these too much because they're still a little sticky. I like this so far. I'm going to set these aside and let them cure some more. All right, so what I need to do right now is clean these glasses. And I'm just going to do that with a clean paper towel and some isopropyl alcohol. And really, I mean, these have been sitting overnight, but the resin's nice and cured, but I still want to try to keep the alcohol away from the resin. And all I'm doing is just rubbing off any of the ink that has gotten onto the glass when I applied it. So that might be resin. I just need to get my knife on there. Scrape it off. So let me get my X-Acto knife, get that bit off. I usually have so much more light in my studio, but it has been a really dreary couple of days. And I have my door open because it's rather warm, but it's just overcast, and now it's started to rain again. So, but that's coastal Florida. That's pretty normal. There we go. See how easy that was? All right. All right, so let's talk pros. The pros are, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's a great design. Another pro is that I can contain the resin and the design in a really specific area. So I was able to use the UV resin. Do y'all hear that rain? It is really raining. And I don't have a microphone yet. But so Yeah, I'm able to contain the resin in a really controlled area using the UV resin as that dam. Okay, I like that. I really like the design. Now I do think the reason why my design ended up the way it did is because the resin had set up and it was really, really thick by the time I got to put it on the glass, because remember I had to pause and put the UV resin on first. So that took a couple minutes. So the resin itself was a little thicker. So my alcohol ink did not run like it normally would. So I really, really like this pattern. I really do. So those are the definite pros. Let's talk about the cons, and this is probably operator error. I'm going to admit that. But the cons for me are that the UV resin is really lumpy and textured, and I probably just need to work on that a little bit more and refine that technique a little bit more. So I will definitely be working on that. Another con, as the glass is turning on the tumbler, there will be a period where I had to wipe off anything that ran over this dam, and that wasn't a problem really. I was able to wipe it up, but it just took a little bit more babysitting than normal. And then of course you can always just go back and clean up. So those are the two cons, I think, for me. Would I do this again? Yes. Am I putting this in my art show booth? Yes. This is a win for me. This is a win. Let me know what you think in the comments. Just drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Should I do this again, or should I just hang it up? Would you try this? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.